Hello, my name is Amber Scott and I'm here with you for Lab 8. It is our final lab for Food Science Lab this term. We're going to be evaluating the differences in meats and hamburgers more specifically. So we're going to evaluate a frozen meat patty as compared to a 73% lean hamburger patty and a 93% lean meat patty. I'm going to cook these up. We're going to evaluate their taste, texture, and appearance and their size after they've been cooked as compared to how they are when they're a quarter pound before they're cooked. Okay, so I have my patties ready. Just evaluating them from a raw standpoint, well, with the exception of the frozen patty, which is pre-cooked. You can see that this patty has frost on it. It's more of a tan color being that it is already cooked. The 93% is very red. It looks very lean because it is 93% with the lean. And then you have the 73, which is very pink. Just looking at this reminds me of the Food Inc. video and them talking about the pink slime. So it's already kind of unappetizing to me. I know that both patties have it in there, but this is what that reminds me of. Hopefully it'll look better when it gets cooked up. It'll get that nice brown flavor and we'll evaluate them further then. Alright, so all of our patties have been cooked. The first one that I'm going to evaluate is the 73% lean one. It's pretty even as far as the coloring is concerned. It's a little bit darker on the back because it ended up cooking for longer than I expected. It has a crumbly appearance to it as far as taste. It has kind of a, being that it's cooled for a while, it has sort of a, like a oily aftertaste to it, and I'm sure that's because of the higher fat content in this one. It's really rich in flavor. You can definitely taste the meat hamburger taste coming through. But overall, the texture is really smooth and not really chewy so much as tender. So the second one that we're going to evaluate is the 93% lean. And the reason I use the 93% lean is because that's what they had at the grocery store when I bought my meats instead of the 90%. So this one is a little bit more uniform in its shape. It's more circular, whereas the other one, the 73%, became odd shapes when I cooked it. The coloring is slightly darker and it has a bit smoother consistency. It still looks a little crumbly, but it is smoother than the other ones. And so with the taste for this one, it has less of a taste than the other one, the 73%, but you can, being that I cooked it on a cast iron skillet, you can taste the iron coming through a little bit more than what it was in the other one. It's a little bit more dry than the 73%, but it's still pretty good overall. Lastly, we have the frozen patty that cooked up. There was no real size loss with this one. It stayed about the same size, and that's because it was already pre-cooked. This one is dark brown. It probably browned up the most between all of them. It has a pretty uniform consistency. There's no real crumbly spots or inconsistent spots as far as texture is concerned. This patty definitely has the most flavor. You can taste the salt that's coming through, and you can taste like the fire infusion that it has from the additives that the company put into it. But overall, taste-wise, I would say the frozen one is going to be the best just because they added in the extra flavors for stovetop cooking. On a personal level, I would probably go with the 93% lean just because I tend to stay away from the higher fat content meats. But the flavor between the two that were made by hand, the 73% definitely takes the ribbon for that one. Other than that, we've completed our lab for the final week in Food Science Lab 310. I enjoyed this semester with you guys, and I look forward to working with you, Ms. Johnson, next year.